Hi, over the next couple of minutes, I'll show you some features and tools available in my Mastering Chemistry or MyLab Mastering Chemistry that you can hopefully use when you're tutoring biochemistry students. So you're going to go to this URL, and this is in the email, and sign in. And when you sign in, you have a username that's Biochemistry SI with the password. So just use that. And this is going to give you full access to instructor resources for the Appling Biochemistry book. So just click on Chemistry for Biochemistry. And this is going to open up Mastering Chemistry from the instructor standpoint. So please use this just for tutoring students, and don't give the username and password out to any students. So from the course home, we'll go through this later, but what I wanted to start with were a couple of items, the e-text, and I'll show you the item library and some tools. So from the e-text, once you go into it, open the e-text, it's going to leave from wherever you left off reading. And this e-text is actually an interactive e-text. That's why I wanted to point it out to you. So over here is your table of contents. So you can jump to whatever chapter that you're working on. And you're going to have to go by the title name, simply because this chapters probably won't line up exactly to the book that you're currently using. But within the e-text, there's a couple of things I wanted to point out. One, it's written from a chemistry point of view, so everything is explained from using chemistry. The second thing that's included in the Appling book are foundation figures. So you can search them here by just typing, going to search and then typing, foundation figure. And then all of these foundation figures are going to populate. So let's just take a quick look at maybe protein, if you're studying protein. And these are interactive figures. They're assignable in mastering, but they're also just available in the e-text. So if you're working on proteins and just want to know some detailed information about it, click the View button. And once you click the View button, it'll open up in a new window. And then you can listen as the narrator will go through this. It's a minute long. And there's also closed captioning, just so you know. So if you hit play.
The function of a protein is determined by its structure. The polypeptide chain synthesized on the ribosome folds from an initial unstructured state to the functional, highly structured state.
So the narrator will go through the protein structure, and then you can go in and start clicking on some of these. So the protein structure, you can see what it looks like. And there are some interactive activities based on each figure. So if you want to highlight the cofactor, you just simply highlight it. Then you can go to the next. You're going to be looking at a close-up of the hydrofolate. If you want to highlight the hydrogen bonds, you can show this. So there's a number of things you can use in your tutoring sections, I hope, that will help you help students understand this complex material. So this is within the e-text, and it opens up on separate tabs. So let's go back into the mastering section. So I'm still in the e-text. I'm going to go to the course home. And this is the instructor's course home, and there's assignments here. Since the other thing I wanted to show you under instructor resources, if you click on this, what's available. So you can launch the instructor resources. And under here are PowerPoints and images, which you're welcome to look at, but there's also molecular models. So these are interactive molecular models with animations and everything. So I thought if perhaps you were a student was struggling with understanding a specific topic, let's say DNA, you can launch this. And this is an entire module on DNA. So you can read through this, you reset it, it's interactive. You can load it again. So now if I want to see the beta subunit of a homodimer, I just click these little radio buttons, and it's going to start displaying on the left-hand side. If I want to look at the dimmer focus on the left, I can simply start clicking on any of these. And I was hoping that these types of interactive figures might be helpful in your explanation of these topics. And then, of course, you can start all over again and load it again or reset it. So these are found, again, just so you know, under the instructor resources. And once you launch it, go into the molecular models, and then you can see all the molecular models right there. You're welcome to use any of these solution manuals and animations as well. They just download, and then you can just pull them up. So that's under instructor resources. The other thing that you may or may not want to do, but you can do, is through the item library. And the item library is basically a repository of all the questions in the Mastering Chemistry. So if you're on a specific chapter, like if you're doing new energetics of life, let's say, you can simply go to the chapter that covers this. If there's specific areas that you're trying to reach, you can fine tune it here. And then you can fine tune how many items are found. So right now I have a filter on, so I'm going to clear all of the filters. It's only finding 10 items for this chapter. By experience, I know there's more, so I'm just going to clear that. There's actually 122 items found. There's a lot of questions, and then there's a lot of multiple choice, but there's also a lot of activities. So if you're trying to explain something, perhaps you might want to work through an activity with a student. So you can go into tutorials, activities, or coaching. And now you're only going to see these questions, and that's how I had 10. So if you're trying to explain, say, free energy and chemical equilibrium, you could simply go in here. And this question is going to load. You will see the answers with the available hints and things, but I thought this might give you some help too in how to approach different problems and things. So back to just the course home one more time. So this is under instructor resources. I'm sorry, under the item library. So back to course home. So if you're looking for a lot of problems that you want to give students, you go to the item library, and then you can search them this way. If you were assigning them as an instructor, which if you find that this is super helpful and you want students to have specific access, let me know and we can set up student accounts for them. But for you right now, if you click on all assignments, it's going to load some sample assignments that I put in. So you can go to the energetics of life, just click on this and view the assignment. It's going to look like the, it's going to look like the item library because these have been pulled from the item library. Okay, so you could have students start working on something like this in maybe your sessions. They can move these reactions around and see how things are worked and then submit it and see if they, and get the answers. Maybe this will be helpful for students, and it does give them specific feedback per question. Okay. The other type of questions, if you might find helpful, are the ones with the little flame. These are dynamic study modules, so you could put it into student view. So if you have a student who's maybe struggling with the concept and it is relatively basic in their knowledge, you could put them into a dynamic study modules. Dynamic study modules are designed to help students understand these large complex topics by breaking it down into specific to specific areas. So it's going to take maybe a topic that's huge and break it down into 8 little questions that they can start getting their hands around and their head around. So they read the question and then they answer it and submit it. And as they go through this, they'll have their results will pop up here. So this might be something in your office hours that if you had 2 students, you could set this up and have a student just walk through these and answer them so that they get some basic knowledge of nucleic acids. I hope this is helpful. I'm very open if you want to use this and have questions for yourself and how you can best use it, contact me. If you would like to use this with specific students, let me know, and I'm happy to set up student accounts and get your feedback on what you think is helpful. Thanks so much.